Now, you're a specialist time triallist. How did you see all the team's efforts?
At first, I'd predicted that Omega Pharma Quickstep were going to have one of the best results. We know they've got a beautiful setup on their specialised Shiv time trial bikes. They've got Tony Martin, World Time Trial Champion, and Chavanel, who's obviously extremely experienced. He's won the French Time Trial Championships before. They rode incredibly fast, 57k an hour, and I don't think we could have predicted how fast the day was going to be. And there were at least, 6 other teams that were to ride between these guys and our favourites, of course.
Yep.
So that was quite impressive. And they should have been really happy with that result.
I think the riders were, but we saw in the press today that Patrick Lefevre was filthy that they got beat by 0.75 of a second. He was disgusted.
So hard to please that man.
Yeah, he's Belgian.
Yeah. What was interesting though, we had been keeping an eye on Team Sky because with Froome being what everyone's predicting as to be the future gold jersey leader, and Richie Port, our wonderful time trials from Australia, they did finish with 8 guys, which is kind of unusual. I thought they'd dispose of more during the course of the race.
I actually think they had a very good ride for an overall team. Like, they're a bunch of mountain goats. There's not many fast guys in there, and for them to be within a few seconds of the win, Green Edge and Omega Pharma, they're all sprinters and fast guys. They've got Goss and Cavendish in the team with all the backup in there. Those guys can do a really good team time trial. But for them, I think it was a big win for them.
That's true. They're safe. There's nothing went wrong, and they were in a good position for sure.
An acceptable performance by them. What about Cadell and his men?
Well, it's always important to look at where he's going, and,
Yep.
and with him and TJ Van Garder and his lieutenant, we want to know that they're staying in a safe position. They did finish 26 seconds down. I think that they'll be happy with that. It was, again, acceptable, I suppose, but it's not fast. It's not as fast as it needed to be, really.
Why is he wearing a red helmet and all the others got black? That
Because
annoys
he's
me.
special.
Okay.
But I think Cadell won't be too happy.
Yeah.
He's lost a second a kilometre to the winners.
Yep.
And he's lost, more importantly, he's lost 23 seconds to Froome and 20-something to Contador.
I think Froome's going to have to fall off for Cadell to make up that time. Something
Yeah.
will have to go wrong, definitely.
Okay.
But what was really impressive, when we finally saw Orica Green Edge going off third last, they were just such a cohesive group. Here's them at the turnaround. They were 3 seconds down on Omega Pharma Quickstep's time, still with 8 riders at that point. And their finish, they had 1 kilometre to go and they had 1 minute and 1 second to do it in, and they did it in under that time. It was
Amazing.
so
So
extraordinary.
they're average over 60.
Yeah.
Incredible.
For that final kilometre. And we knew, you had said there would be a bit of a cross tailwind. We knew it would be quick, but extraordinary.
That must have been a thrill. I mean, they must have had some commands coming through the earpieces and been looking at the clock up ahead as well, because half of them were just sort of checking it out as they got near there, and the joy and
Exactly.
relief.
There would have been some yells from Whitey coming from the car. Apparently Garrow's earpiece fell out or didn't work or
Yep.
something, and you cannot hear a thing. When you got those aero helmets on, it covers your ear. You're doing 60k an hour, so he just would have been riding blind.
Absolutely.
But there's not really much to tell, is there?
Now, I know you guys are pros and you're used to this sort of thing, but I reckon a mug like me would love nothing more than to be on bikes like that, in kit like that, giving it a go. Is it fun?
Oh, it's fantastic. I did a World Cup Teams time trial in Sweden. It was one of the best races I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's fun if you're good. If you're on a bad one, it's the worst thing you'll ever do. Ask poor Ted King.
Yeah, good point there. All right, nice review. Thanks, Doc.